Today on episode 227 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, an NHL Playoff update, followed by an NBA Playoff update, Stadium Tier Rankings Part 2, and the TCF Top 3 of Actresses. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 227. Make sure to find us on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. Head on over to YouTube for all of our content in video form. Make sure you are subscribed there. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well. So subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can, wherever you get it from. We are there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And of course, the gentleman that I'm joined with tonight, that is Zach at ZAlilia_TCF in the top left of your screen. And down below is Maddie at schools_01. Boys, feeling like summer. Feels great. I'm so happy that we're here.
Oh, yeah. We're getting storms. Well, supposed storms. That was the weakest. I hate it. It's like one of those ones where you're supposed to get a snowstorm, you don't get it.
Yeah.
May, did you get something?
Nothing. My kid is he freaks out a little bit right now from storms. Like he likes watching
used
YouTube
to be
videos
that way.
of storms, but he gets very nervous when they're coming. So he was struggling sleeping and stuff. And then he first thing he says to me, he wakes up the next morning, runs up to me, "Daddy, the storm missed us last night." Because he slept through the whole night and didn't have any issue because there was nothing, no rain.
Didn't even rain.
We had a lot of wind, and that was
the wind was crazy. But
unfortunately, I think
a
lot of the bad stuff happened right over the border in Iowa.
Yeah, in Iowa.
A lot of destruction and bad things there. So
it's tornado season, unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely. But feels like we're headed in the right direction as far as weather goes. So I sweated today when we were outside. So feeling good, feeling better than what we normally complain
It's all right.
about.
Still don't. I mean, I wish I could live in a world where it's just like 70 degrees all the time.
70 and a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. I could just all day.
I'm literally headed there in 2 weeks, boys. I'm going to San Diego.
I was going to say
San Diego,
California. Well, we're still jealous here, Maddie. It's been 2 weeks since we talked, and I'm still jealous. But let's jump into things, boys. As always, sinkers and floaters. And you're not going to like this, boys. My sinker is the college football video game that's coming out. And the reason is because I am 99.9% sure that this is going to be PS5.
Yeah, I think so too. I went to go pre-order it, and it's only pre-order for PS5.
Yeah, and I'm not looking to spend $600 for a new video game. So
I did hear it was supposed to be on the older gen still. The Xbox One and the PS4, I believe, are still supposed to have it.
That'd be beautiful.
Okay. Because like Zach said, all the pre-orders that I've seen on Twitter have all been PS5 and Xbox. Is it Xbox S or Series X or whatever it is?
Yeah, I only have an Xbox One, so I would not be very happy if that doesn't come out.
Yeah, I would be devastated because I also only have a PS4 and I really don't play video games enough to get a PS5. But
I can get it from Target on Xbox One, so I'm sure it'll be on the 4.
That'd be beautiful.
Better. Well, my sinker is
null and void.
Null and void. And I can
Let's
live
hope.
with that.
Your sinker has been figured out.
Yep. Knock on wood. So we'll see.
My sinker
it does say Xbox One, X, S. So I'm assuming it's got all 3 versions. So
let's hope. My sinker is going to the beach. I'm just not a fan of going to the beach. I don't like sand. I don't really like taking my shirt off either. I'm more of a shirt on guy. Not really fan of the water either. I don't know. I'm just all about. Me and Boomy had a conversation about this today, but I'm just
love the beach.
People love the beach. I don't know.
Okay, so this conversation stemmed from the beaches in Chicago. Now, I will say this. I have zero desire to go to one of the Chicago beaches, more because of my commute coming home. But
I don't know where everyone parks.
like I'll be in New Orleans this summer and probably not too far from the beach. I love the beach. Any time I'm near the beach that is attached to an ocean, I am all in. I love the sand. I mean, I've been a fat guy since the day before forever, so it don't matter to me. I'm, tarps off, whatever. But I love the beach. But we were discussing going to like North Avenue Beach, and I have zero desire to do that.
I just don't like the sand though. Like you just get sand all over, and I hate
It's
when
part of the
sand
fun,
sticks
dude. You
to
just
me.
shake it off and move on with your day.
What if you're wet? You're not just shaking it off.
Well, then you dry off and then you shake it off.
No, I'm good on that.
Maddie, Matt, you'll be in San Diego in a couple weeks. Are we going to do some beach going with the family, or?
It's not really. I mean, there's the place we're staying is on the ocean, but it's like it's not super hot. So it's like when you're on the beach there, you're just kind of chilling there, like walking it, maybe wading in the water, but there's not much swimming because the water's pretty cold there. Because like
I was going to say Pacific Ocean, that water is freezing.
Yeah, so it's pretty cold like in that area. So I mean, we'll be walking it and stuff and hanging out there, but not like not having a beach day or anything. Let's put that. But this place that does have a bar, like right outside of the like at the end of the walkway from the resort to the beach itself. There's like a taco stand and bar there, so it's like a perfect little setup.
I just bring it up because it's beach season, and I'm
with you. Sand sucks. It's a sand thing.
It's all a part of the fun.
Sand sucks, dude.
Fair enough. What's your sinker this week, Maddie?
Well, for one, my sinker might be myself again because I just checked again, and now it is saying it's next-gen consoles only. So I'm a little bit – we got some problems. So maybe not as big of the problems as my guy for my sinker this week is the Eagle Khabib, one of the greatest UFC lightweights of all time, Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's got some problems. He's got a $3 million tax bounty that he owes the government of Russia. And that usually doesn't go really well. So they've frozen like all of his company assets, corporate assets that are in the country and everything. Further, now he's also applied and filed the paperwork to become a citizen of the UAE. So you're a great fighter and you're a legendary
what's up with this though? Like Messi had tax problems,
but they don't like paying taxes in across the world. I guess I don't know. I don't like paying taxes.
Billionaires, either, neither do we, but we still gotta pay them.
I agree, and you gotta feel like $3 million for that guy isn't that much. Like, it's not like it's some obscene amount of. I guarantee you, he made more than $3 million in that Conor McGregor fight.
They always say
the Gaethje fight.
Like the people in his camp are always saying he's the money man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It sounds like there may be more to it. Maybe he pissed off the wrong person in the government, or because I think they're all buddy with Kadyrov too, that Chechen leader. So so I think.
Well, I was going to say also with Russia fighting a war, they're going to want that tax money. So it's not like it's,
that, or they might need their ultimate fighting machine to come help the cause. I don't know, but like I don't want Putin on my ass for $3 million. I can tell you that.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, could be an interesting story to follow.
Well, we got a couple sinkers with some storylines to follow with the video game and old Khabib. So.
Yeah,
video games got me.
That's a problem.
The video games got me distraught.
Zach's off the rails here. Moving into the floaters, mine is concerts. I am an avid concert goer, and I went to my first concert in, 6 months last weekend, and I just forget how fun concerts are. That's really about it. And more of it was a couple one band I listened to a lot, two, just kind of here and there, but more for the people watching at my age. At 33, the people watching at concerts is just
I've really got to like the guy or the band or the lady, I guess, to go see someone in concert because
I just got to have tickets. I got free tickets from my buddy. Shout out Nolan. I had barely listened. I'd never even heard of the opening band, and then the headliner I've heard of, but live music's live music.
We're going to see Tyler Childers, which is going to be awesome. So that's what somebody that I really want to see, and that's a concert I would go to.
I love
Yeah, I'm
live
not a
music.
country guy.
No, I just mean like I'm just not a concert person for just some random person
Yeah, no, I get that.
or band.
My
Maybe you'll go see any band.
Yeah, I really am. Especially, I got a buddy that I go to a lot of.
It's a lot of work to go to a concert.
And but the problem is so this concert was in Bloomington, and I had to be up at 5:30 on Sunday morning. And my only
chance
complaint
I'm going to that concert.
The what?
No chance I'm going to that concert at all. No chance.
I wouldn't miss it. My only complaint was that concerts go too late. We got to start. This is an old man take,
yeah.
We got to start concerts at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Maybe just, I hate to be this way, maybe take like the opening act out.
Or just move it up an hour. That's really all it was. Show started at 7. Let's get the opening act going at 5 or 6.
It's like the national championship game.
Because no kidding.
An hour earlier.
I got home at about midnight. My alarm went off at 5:30, and I was not a very happy person.
I couldn't do. I just couldn't do that for a band. You like that band, right? I
really liked the middle band, not the. I had barely listened to the headliner.
My floater though is bonfires. It's that time of year where bonfires. Everyone's having a bonfire. I think for me that's like one of the best things to do is just sit around a bonfire for hours outside and then go inside and you got to take a shower because you stink. But
no, that's why you got to get the Stolo stove, baby. That thing works like a champ.
Oh yeah, is that the one Snoop Dogg was talking about?
One. Yeah, I got one like 4 years ago for Christmas from my my son's grandma. It was my mother-in-law. It was like probably my favorite Christmas gift of all time. I use it all the time. It's fantastic.
Sounds like that's something I need because I do like a bonfire, but I do not like starting the bonfire.
And yeah, this one it's wood only. You don't ever need gas. I use like one of those little starter logs. Put the regular logs in with it, and it's up in seconds, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hard to argue with. You're never going to hear a complaint out of me about bonfires. I love bonfires.
Yeah,
a little bit of a pyromaniac. I come by.
Bonfires are definitely a. I know we're not tiering the summer activities today, but S tier probably. It's got to be.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean that's our go-to. I think at least in my neighborhood, they're everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Maddie, what's your floater this week?
My floater. It started off as a sinker for the guy, and I know we're probably not going to get into this Scheffler story too much, but that he's got to be my floater for this week because of the when you go get arrested in the morning and you come out and shoot 600. I know he kind of struggled on Saturday a little bit. Maybe it caught up to him there and not having his caddy and yada yada. Everybody knows what happened there, and like he didn't have his best showing in the tournament. But that kind of morning, and then you come out just ice water coursing through your veins to throw a -6 after getting arrested.
If someone's punching on your window,
like that's just so. I would never be that calm in any situation to be that successful in fucking Mario Kart, let alone going out and playing in a major. Like, it's just fascinating when you see shit like that. So mine is Scheffler this week.
Yeah, that was insane. And now we're, almost a week removed from it. And now more and more is coming out. And the cop didn't have his
body he got dinged for not having his body cam on. Yeah, it's not the easiest look or best look for the Louisville.
I will say last Friday was like a top 25 all-time Twitter day. It
was, and I definitely when I first saw it and I saw that it was like an accident where a person was killed, like I thought they were saying that he hit the person.
That's what I thought.
What? Like did Scheffler killed a guy on the way into the PGA today? Like wait, what? Like, and then
I thought there was no way that the story that Scheffler got arrested was true. I'm like, this has to be like The Onion or something like that.
Yeah, especially him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of all the golfers,
squeaky clean cut, Scotty. No, I agree. That was nuts. And then to almost pull it off, like you said, all-time weekend.
And he got the mug shot out of it.
He's got to trademark that and start
That's
selling it.
crazy.
He's got to. Missed opportunity if he doesn't.
He said it in an interview afterwards that he was in jail watching himself on Get Up. I mean, that's crazy. To think about you're staying in jail watching a show talk about you getting arrested.
Insane. Like, and like doing, like he said, doing his stretches or whatever. Like, you know, when he was, I don't know, just absolutely insane. Like morning for the guy.
Hey,
but for people
guys,
like us, we just love stuff like that. Like just stuff that takes over. You're just refreshing Twitter, trying to figure out something else about it.
And the whole like page.
The whole like destroying his pants thing is just like the perfect cherry to like end
valued at $89.
Valued at $80. That's the funniest part.
Hey, so speaking of sports that happened last weekend, we're in the trust tree here, and I just have a very quick question before we move to the sports minute. Does it make me a bad sports guy if I don't mean to say this like brag, I just can't bring myself to care about horse racing?
It's tough because you lead up to a minute race or whatever.
Like
that's just tough for me.
It's a lot of pomp and circumstance, that's for sure. I do like it.
I know you guys have been, you know, especially
I like
COVID
when it's on, but I'm not a guy who just wants to watch a sport for 1 minute.
Like even like I love Pardon My Take. I've listened to every single episode, and they always have on, you know, White Randy Moss, and it's just hard to like.
Dude, I love that guy. I do too.
I listen to him because he's entertaining, but the information I just can't bring myself to care.
The thing about it is, if you went to it, there's so many other races too that it would be a lot more
That's
fun.
The thing is, I usually will end up betting some of the earlier races and stuff too.
Because there's races the day before all day, and then there's races on Saturday morning and stuff. So
no, my other question, like Zach, did you and Maddie, did you guys like grow up with people who bet on horses?
No, I did not.
I didn't think so. Maddie?
Not my friends specifically, but like parents of friends and stuff. So I
grew up with people who like slot machines.
I grew up with a lot of sports gamblers at a young age. So it was
gotcha. I just feel like I'm losing out on something, and I've tried over the last probably since COVID, and it just goes over.
I
my
like
head.
it. It's fun being able to play like Korean horses at like 11 o'clock at night when you get bored is a little fun. You know?
Me and Maddie used to do that during the COVID
I remember
days.
We'd get done recording, and you boys would jump on some app and
Twin Spires, baby.
Twin Spires. I still get a lot of emails from them.
Yeah. They're the backbone of DK horse racing.
Yeah.
Their app is. It's the same app.
Yeah, it's the same setup.
Maybe eventually. Let's move into the TCF Sports Minute. We got to start off with the Cubbies. 27-24. They're still only 2 games out, and they haven't won a series in about 2 weeks. Kind of a slide right now. The offense is bad. I mean,
it's been bad.
I don't really know where to go here because, all right, so first of all, let's start with this. Kyle Hendricks has to go. I'm tired of them beating around the bush on this. He's got to go. Okay?
I feel bad, but I don't know what you do. I don't.
Like, you got, like, I think Cody, is it Delmonico or I think he's Bleacher Nation or no, he's the Chicago guy. Said, like, how bad it was. They put him in the 8th inning. It was a bad situation, whatever. He's a 15-year pro or something, you know, a big veteran, not 15 years, but he's a professional pitcher, and this isn't the first, you know, like time he's been in a baseball game. So obviously we're talking about Thursday's game, but it's not there. Like, why are we doing this, continuing to trot him out? Like, he's going to end up, what's going to happen is I feel like if he keeps doing this, like he's going to tarnish what legacy he has with the Cubs if he just continues to have an 8.9 ERA.
And also,
I think his legacy's
cemented. Like that.
His legacy's cemented. I wouldn't worry about that.
I don't disagree, but if we're going to throw him out there the rest of the year if he shelled out of the bullpen, what are we doing?
No, I think it's give him a run or two in the bullpen if it continues, and it was great, dude. And we thank you for everything you've done.
Yeah, at some point.
I'm
it's
sorry.
gonna start
We got
hindering the team.
we got rid of a lot of fucking guys who had a lot of connections to this team too, and had no problem with it. So why do we have a problem with a guy who's got a 10+ ERA? That's not making sense to me.
No,
and it's not to besmirch Kyle Hendricks. He's a fucking living legend in the organization. But you can't anchor it. You can't be like you can't drag.
He's
the
not
rest of the
playing.
organization
He's not
down at
playing
this
well
point.
enough to.
And he knows that too.
Yeah.
I think they're giving him a chance to say it. He's not an idiot. Kyle Hendricks is not a dummy.
He went to Dartmouth, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, I worry about how long we can just keep drawing this out. You know, like,
yeah,
let's just move on. I hate to be that way because, like you said, Maddie, he has done so much for this organization, and he can't stop giving up home runs.
But the biggest concern on this team is the offense right now. It's bad.
Yeah, and like with that being said, Ian Happ is our guy. If guys start getting healthy, Ian Happ's the odd man out right now. He's batting like 200.
Yeah, Dansby is coming back from an injury. Nico's coming back from an injury. They both struggled. Nico was playing pretty well before he got hurt, but Dansby was still struggling. If a team like that wants to make the playoffs, they got to start scoring some runs, and their pitching staff kept them in it a lot of the first few games here. Not the first few games, but the first games here, part of the season.
If you're going to bring up, Brendan Davis, that's great. But I mean, outside of injuries, which Cubs have been very injury prone.
Yeah, because Ian Happ's not going down to AAA and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, here's
nice to see
right
Brendan Davis make a little bounce back. I'm glad you mentioned his name too.
Brendan Davis is playing really. What do you have?
Really well.
5 homers in 7 games or something the other day.
For all intents and purposes, it sounded like his career was in jeopery.
Well, I think we talked about it this spring.
His stock had plummeted.
I mean,
he was a top 15 prospect, and his stock had plummeted. He was a bottom of the barrel, about to be traded in a dumpster, type of trade. And that guy flipped it around.
I know that batting average is a little bit of an outdated statistic here, but Christopher Morel, 209, Ian Happ, 216. Our 2 best hitters are Mike Tauchman and Nico Horner at 262.
A lot of strikeouts lately.
Yeah, it's just, and I know, Sea's been hurt and, all these guys coming in and out, but holy cow. I mean, if it wasn't for Shota, there'd be a lot of questions on this team. And I'm not jumping off the band.
Javier Asad's been pitching really well too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Their starting pitching's carrying them. Let's not kid ourselves.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't for the starting rotation, this team would be definitely not in contention to get in first place.
And let's not kid ourselves. That does make you not feel as bad about some of these stretches that they're in right now.
No, and even like guys like Ben Brown
can just be a little bit better. They're going to win some games.
Definitely. And I feel like from everything I've read and heard that the hardest part of the schedule is, what we're going through now.
Yeah.
The first couple months. And it's just, I guess it's frustrating because this team is 3 games above 500. Now, thank God they're only 2 games out of first place. They haven't dug themselves too big of a hole, but it feels like the
Brewers are kind of staying with them a little bit. And also that the starting rotation is giving them chances to win low-scoring games.
Definitely. But as bad as things are on the north side, guys, at least we're not the White Sox. 15-35, worst record in baseball. I did go to the White Sox game last week. I'll be honest. I had a good time.
Yeah, I listened to the mid-show, and Beef Loaf was on there, and he was like, you know what? It's a lot of people that just go there to eat some good food and watch some baseball. It's really not a stressful environment.
And it was White Sox Nationals, so 2 awful baseball teams. And I'm a baseball junkie.
On what? Was it like a Thursday afternoon?
Wednesday afternoon at 1:05. I couldn't name 10 players out there. But s'mores, campfire milkshake, incredible. I ate like such a pig that day. What else I get? Steak tacos, elotes, and I got something else. Peace Pizza. They got Beggar's Pizza there. So
short lines too. No, I mean,
yes.
You don't gotta wait in line for food. It's good food. And
It's a little pricey.
You're watching some baseball.
$19 for a milkshake.
Everything's priced at a professional sporting event.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's professional. It's baseball. If you like baseball, you're gonna enjoy it. It's pretty simple. Like I said to Zach,
I mean, it's a nice ballpark for a cheap ticket, and sometimes we'll be playing some good teams.
Exactly. Did I see Eloy's back to the IL?
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, talk about not surprising news.
Yeah, that's just tough. But I did listen to White Sox Dave say, and this is true, it's hard to root for like a Garrett Crochet because you think he's probably gonna get traded, right?
He had some good points.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks because you want these guys to be good, but on the other hand, if they're good, then they're gonna get traded.
Right. It's hard to just like attach yourself to a guy that you know is gonna be gone in 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't even think about it like that.
And in support of Reinsdorf and what the organization has just turned into again.
You're not wrong. Would you boys be interested in going to a White Sox game this year?
I'd go.
Yeah, I'd go.
Sure.
All right. May have to play in something. Nice little weekday matinee.
And really, truthfully, I'd like to go to any White Sox games that's not the White Sox Cubs because that would probably be the craziest.
I don't want to go to a White Sox Cubs game. I'd go to a White Sox and a fucking random team.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So I wore my Ben Zobrist struck Yadier Molina shirt out. I wore that to the game and a Cubs hat, of course. And I walked through the concourse 2 or 3 times. I only had one person when I walked by just go, Ben Zobrist sucks. And I was like, good one, dude.
Yeah, 2-time World Series MVP sucks.
Yeah. But it didn't even look at me. Just walked by and just goes,
maybe you gotta respect it, though.
Sucks.
I do
You
like
gotta
it. I
respect
do.
it.
I mean, hey, but you wore the shirt knowing what you're doing. So
the best part of it was, and I can say I won't say his name, but we took our 8th grade to the game, and we have a student who told me this like 6 months ago. He's like, I'm gonna wear my Cubs hat. I'm like, great, man. So am I. So he wears his Cubs hat, just has a black T-shirt on. And he's walking up and down the aisles, like right behind home plate, just going, the Cubs are better. Mm-hmm. The Cubs are better. And like, we had to go get him and be like, yeah, you can't do this here, dude. Like,
let's not do this.
I gave him props for being a good Cubs fan, but yeah, I was like, let's head back to our seats, big guy. I did it with a big grin on my face. Last but not least, we don't have a ton to talk to about, Cubs or Bulls or Hawks, but Bears schedule gets released 0-17. That's tough for you guys. You got anything?
Yeah, shut up.
And your quarterback looked awful today. That's tough.
Keep talking, baby.
I really do wish they did the schedule release without any leaks because it would be
or just stop making a holiday out of it. Like Jesus,
it's kind of cool though. It's like one step closer to the NFL season. But,
it's overdone and corny now, though.
I am a fan of the division games in the later part of the season. Let's get the team kind of together. Caleb Williams some games before you're just thrown into playing the Packers like week 1, like it usually is.
Did you see today the Bears released the video of the draft night with Poles?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
His reaction to with Odunze falling. That was I really, really like that guy. He seems like a really just like normal, like has his head on straight, like has a plan of what he wants to do instead of like, the Ryan Paces of the world and the Jerry Angelos of the world and Dave Emery's of the world and
Jerry Angelo.
Like it's just like I don't know. You feel like this might be one of those guys, like in just the way he carries himself and talks and like how the kind of the forward thinking approach to this team. And granted, the first pick falling into their lap last year was kind of a blessing, but he's done exactly what you want that team to do. With
in the moment,
every step of the way,
he's done what you wanted him to do.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the Claypool trade, yeah, it was a bad one. The Montez Sweat one was like double as good. Like when you get an elite a franchise, level defensive end, young, and you extend them right away, can't ask for much more than that.
When you turn the number 1 pick into the next year's number 1 pick, And
DJ
DJ
Moore, your starting franchise tackle, second round pick, Tyreek Stevenson last.
Unbelievable.
It was highway robbery. It's one of those like the Herschel Walker type trade. Like one of those, it sets up a franchise.
What does suck
for a
though
long
is
time.
the season is so far away.
I know.
I will
can't
say
wait
this.
to fucking flex. It's gonna be awesome.
And I think I've said this before, but from an outsider's perspective, it is much different the way that Ryan Poles is running this organization.
You have to admit, like, this is a far different approach.
Yeah.
Than, some of the chicken
So
shit,
much more confident.
It's
not
more
even
it's
just
smart.
confident, it's like common sense.
Well,
Yes.
you just see him making the right moves at the right time.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Fields was interviewed? And they said he said he was told at his exit interview that he was going to be dealt. So that tells you right there, like, Poles knew what he was doing in early January, and he made his plan and then stuck with it and got his guy. He got both his guys, and that you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah. It's like refreshing from just a pure football standpoint when you live so close to the market and you get, like, you can see, just tell the difference. Even listening to sports talk and obviously following everything that happens, with the Bears, like, it is different. It is not, all those names that Maddie, riled off there. It's not trading up for Mitch Trubisky when no one didn't need to.
We're trying to not like relive bad moments here.
No, but you get what I'm saying though. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Even in the moment,
No,
everybody was like,
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with you, actually. This one, it's like it. No, keep going. Right. I'm sorry.
The Claypool deal, even at the time, it was like, well, maybe he turns into year one Chase Claypool. And obviously we have the power of retrospect now where we can see, like, holy cow, that guy sucked and that was a bad deal. But he's starting to, like, compound enough smart, intelligent, common sense moves that you can almost, you don't want to forget, but you can set that Claypool trade aside and say, listen, for his one mistake, here's the 4, 5, 6, however
really
many things.
We just gave up a second-round pick, which, yes, you'd like to have back, but that's all you gave up for him.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, but I feel like there's been such a long stretch of, like, we're used to the Chase Claypool deals that those just sit in your head because you're so used to having a GM where it's like he just does something stupid.
You're not used to a string of good things happening.
The fans can't fault what he did. He made every move that everybody wanted him to do. There's nothing.
And now,
at this point, this is what we got.
And now everyone just has to go play football.
Right. And that's the spot you want to be in, and not in this always worrying about, do you have the guy? Like, you got to be pretty confident you got the guy. And the more and more I see this kid, every time he's out, it makes me feel like there was some team, somebody out there was literally trying to sink his stock somehow to make him fall past the Bears. I don't know what it was, because this is not the person.
That's how every draft is, though.
I know, but this one to me just seems much different in terms of, this isn't prima donna. Oh, I want to own part of the team, even though that's not even fucking allowed under
it's not even possible
collective bargaining rules and things like that. Like, it's not like this isn't an Eli Manning forcing us way out of San Diego situation.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't get where some of that shit was coming from, and like, people were using his dad as like fodder, and his dad seems totally I don't know, everything he hasn't been LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like how he was like pumped out to to the fan base, and it just tells you, like, you can't really buy what the hell a lot of this is sold, like, especially pre-draft.
A lot of smoke and mirrors. So, but you know what is not a lot of smoke and mirrors? It's delicious coffee from our friends at Connect Roasters, guys. That's right. You can find their delicious coffee, their blends, their grounds, whatever you need. ConnectRoasters.com, at Connect Roasters on Twitter. They make Ian Happ coffee. They make coffee for Don Frederick. Zach drinks their coffee. It's just good coffee, guys. If you're in Bourbonnais, make sure you stop by their storefront. Like I said, you can check them out online at ConnectRoasters.com. just incredible coffee. I'm not even a coffee guy, and I like their coffee. Okay, so make sure you head over to Bourbonnais, visit that storefront that is on mine and Zach's list to hit the summer. Make sure you get on over there. Make sure you get some sweet merch. They got some awesome stuff, great coffee mugs, all kinds of gear that you can get. So make sure you check out our friends at connectroasters.com. So get your summer off to a good start. Get yourself loaded up on some Connect Roasters coffee. Boys, it is playoff season. We are in the conference finals weeks. So let's jump into the NHL first and foremost. We have in the Western Conference, we have, this is taking forever to bring up. Maddie, why am I drawing a blank here? Edmonton and Dallas.
Yeah, and it's 2-2, game one currently, 1:26 to go as we stand. So Tyler Sagan just tied it up with a little backdoor open net, basically. It was about the easiest goal he could ever have to tie it up. And he scored that with about 3:30, 3:25, somewhere in that range. 2-2, though, minute 20 now. And, yeah, got a hell of a game for game one. I do like Dallas to win the series. I think they're the better team overall. Obviously, Edmonton's loaded with talent up top. With McDavid.
There hasn't been a ton of overtime.
Not a ton. Not one of those, like, I think there's only been one game that's gone into two.
I feel like the last few years there's been
overtime.
like triple overtime.
Usually you'll see a triple, one or two triple overtimes. And that usually means maybe the Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals will be pretty good. Eastern Conference finals should be a great series, too, on the other side. The Rangers and Florida Panthers. Florida won game 1, 3-0. It was tight, though. It was 1-0 up until, I think, pretty late in the third. Alexis Lafreniere had an own goal, tapped it in on his own with about, 3-4 minutes to go, and maybe a little bit more than that.
Redman's still on the Rangers, right?
I'm sorry, who? Panarin? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
Sorry, I called him the Bread.
No, I thought you said Redman for a second, then I put two and two together.
Mike Redman, the old.
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
that
the
would
Marlins
be a
guy?
reason for me to
what?
want them to win. I liked him.
Yeah, no, he was a stud.
He got traded at a time when
the
they
Brandon
weren't
Saad
very
trade
good.
was an absolute abomination. But
Yeah.
let's not just...
Man, what happened? I mean, the Rangers were just they were rolling until they got to the middle of that semifinal series, and then almost got pushed to 7 with Carolina. And I mean, obviously,
Carolina's really, really good, and they're a tough ass team. And I think Florida's probably the best team in the East, in my opinion.
All right.
Florida just is loaded, dude, and they're tenacious. They've got Brovsky was playing really good. Alexei Barkov, their center it's literally Jonathan Toews, like reincarnate, basically. A little bit, he's maybe late 20s at this point now, maybe 30, but still has a lot of miles left. He's just a monster in the middle. So good, so fun to watch. They're a really fun team. Yeah, I don't know. The Rangers are obviously, they won the President's Cup, or President's Trophy this year, so they're the best team in the regular season. It's it's a different game. It's obviously a different game.
That's true, and I don't know. This probably makes me a contrarian dummy, like always. Like I don't like Canadian hockey teams, but I almost am. And I know that you have, a future on the Stars, Matt, but like I'm almost cheering for Edmonton just because I'm tired. Like Connor McDavid is so insanely good, and you just want to see good. Like I almost just want to see him get one cup.
He's unreal. He's ridiculous. I mean, he's head and shoulders the best player in the league. He's significantly better than anybody else in the league, in my opinion, right now. I think Bedard has like the ceiling could get there. I'm not saying he will get there. I think his skill set could get in there, but there's a lot more. Like McDavid's actually done it, so that's the difference.
Yeah.
So, I do think he's by head and shoulders the best player in the league.
And I feel like
so when you have him, you can.
Hockey is a sport of casuals, right? Like yes, there's diehards, but I feel like the majority of the population is casual hockey fans, right? And to a lot of casuals, like they know the name Connor McDavid, but they don't understand exactly how good. And like it's going to take a title for a guy like that for us, casuals and us dummies to be like, holy cow, this guy is as good as advertised.
I hope not, because that dude's in my opinion, he's the best player I've ever seen. Like, I mean, I saw Gretzky a little bit, but not like. I didn't see Gretzky in his heyday, like in the early and mid '80s. I was too young then.
Well, until Connor Bedard.
Like when he was in his when Gretzky was like, and he was good into the late '80s and early '90s too. I don't mean that, but like he was a different planet than like the early '80s and mid '80s. And so from my end of things, he's the most talented player I've ever seen. Like he's insane, dude. He's so much faster than everybody. He's just an unbelievable skater. So strong with the puck. Like you can't take him off. Like, you can't get him off the puck when he's got it. And he literally does whatever he wants. He's good defensively. Good. He doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for how good he is defensively either.
It's true.
He plays a two-way game, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't feel he's a liability defensively.
We have 4 very, very good hockey teams left in the Final Four.
They're very fun to watch, and like I said, this Florida the Rangers series is nothing to sleep on either. There's talent everywhere. The Rangers, Adam Fox, like on the blue line, dude, he is so fucking good. Like he's just there's elite defensemen all over the place in these series. So I don't know. It's it's 4 good teams, not a lot of like superstar, well-known names except for.
And it's easy to watch. They're either on TNT or on ESPN.
Yeah. Yep. And when they're on ESPN, they split screen them with NHL or NBA too.
It's very cool.
Moving over to the NBA in the Western Conference, coming up tonight on Friday night, Game 2. Dallas takes Game 1 over Minnesota in Minnesota. Kyrie Irving, Luka, man, that was just.
Look at it. There should be nobody at this point that can stop Luka and Kyrie Irving. I mean, those are 2 just unbelievable basketball players.
Yeah, they're freaks. I mean, that was insane. Down or tight game early, second half, and in Minnesota to come out the way they did, I was so impressed. Now Minnesota's
2 players that can go get 30 points easily any night.
Yep. It was insane. I think Minnesota's going to have a big bounce back here, though. I mean, you have to. You go down 0-2 and leave home. I mean, that series is over.
Yeah.
You have to. And they've gotten some – and I know, Wendy talked a lot about it on Part of My Take today, but, like, the guys that, like, were cast – like, guys remember Derek Jones Jr.? The Bulls just let him go for nothing.
Yeah.
And he's a huge – Daniel Gafford, who the Bulls drafted. I mean, there's so many pieces there, and they just seem to make it work so nicely.
The Bulls, they stink.
Derek Lively, it's the Mavericks are – and I don't want this – like, the Timberwolves are also insanely fun to watch.
Anthony Edwards is unbelievable. And like 2 guys that I never thought I would actually kind of enjoy watching are Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Not the biggest fans, but I mean, when they're on the same team, that's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards might be the most entertaining basketball player on the planet.
He seems like he's not friends with anybody. He just wants to win. And it's enjoyable to watch him and Luka go back and forth, and that's gonna be a good series.
On the other, Maddie, anything in the West? I mean, I'd like to see Minnesota win. I'd prefer to see. I like watching Edwards. The one thing I'll say about him though is I don't know where the Jordan talk came from.
I think it's just because
it was fucking weird, dude.
But I think it's because he goes at players, and not a lot of players nowadays really go at each other.
Fine, but that was saying.
That's why
that was absurd. Like that stuff.
He's 22 years old.
Yeah, no,
that's
I mean he's
crazy.
He's a stud. Don't get me wrong. Probably the most entertaining player in the league. I would agree right now, but that was a bit.
Well, yeah, it's a little, and then that's a little bit much too for him. It's just like let him play basketball.
Exactly. Agreed. I agree with that too.
Let him be good at basketball.
That said, they're a fun team to watch too. Like I know, like you're talking about, like it's hard to sit there and watch like Luka.
They're playing with house money at this point.
To watch Luka and Kyrie like handle the ball, it's insane to watch those two. But I'd still think I'd rather watch Timberwolves.
I think I would be okay with either team coming out of the West, not moving to the East. Different story. I hate Boston. but it doesn't
There's
look
no
like
chance.
Indiana's going to be able to
Indiana
stop them.
blew it. They had to win game one. That was just awful way to go out in game one. You lose just at the end when you were winning the whole game. And
yeah.
Well, they had it dead to rights too.
Now they lose both in Indiana. They lose both in Boston. Right? He was in Boston, right?
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, you can go back and try. You're not going to win both games probably in Indiana. I just think this series is over with.
I have already taken Indiana plus 7.5 on Saturday.
I'm just saying though that game one was so huge. You had to have that if you want to win
like
a series.
The air
like
just got taken out of Indiana's sails after that loss.
Yeah, I mean that would have been huge.
Yeah, that's tough. And unfortunately, I mean, I think Boston is probably the most complete team of all four left.
And I think Dallas can give them a run for their money.
I just think that like the depth that they have and just the ability to hit you from a lot of different levels. I think if it's Dallas and Boston, I think that Dallas will have arguably the two best players on the court, but Boston may have 5 of the best 8 players.
I would say that
gym.
The Celtics would be the most disappointed if they didn't win.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Because this isn't a core that's going to last forever.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of money.
I mean, how old is Al Horford?
He's got to be upper 30s.
And I mean, at some point,
not even that.
You're going to be able to pay Jason
Tatum
and Jaylen Brown and all that. It's just like this isn't like the Timberwolves where it's Anthony Edwards is 22 years old.
Yeah,
I think this team is built to win, and if they don't win this year, it'd be very disappointing.
Absolutely. Maddie, anything on the East?
Wait, one more thing. Halliburton is awesome.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah,
very good.
What?
I shouldn't say it like that. He is one of the top 10 players in the NBA. There's just been moments in this playoffs where it feels like he's hiding when things are going bad. And that's when you need a guy like him to just give me the ball and get out of my way.
Yeah, the end of that game one was not good.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I think he is incredible. He can score in bunches. It's just and he'll learn that, right? This is the first time Indiana's been to the Eastern Conference Finals in a very long time. And he's going to get it more with experience. But there was just a couple moments in this playoffs where I'm like, he can just take this game over, and he's not. But that's my only complaint. And that'll come with time. Maddie?
Yeah, I think the series is dead. I mean, let's be real. I think you guys hit pretty much everything. It's 2-0. They're not going to – I don't think they're going to take both games back in Indy. So I think it's pretty much all she wrote.
I think so. Let's make our predictions now. I'll take Boston in 6. I do think Indiana's going to get 2, and
probably 4 or 5.
I'll take Boston in 5.
Boston in 5. I'll take.
And then
Boston
I'm going to take Dallas in 7.
Ooh.
And that's because I just want a game. I want one of these series to be good. And if the Pacers Celtics could get good if somehow Indiana wins both at home, but I just don't see that happening.
I'm not going to try and let recency bias. I do think it's going to be Dallas in. What did you say? 6?
I said 7.
I'll go with you. Dallas in 7. I like that. Maddie?
I think Minnesota's going to take it in 7. But
Ooh.
I do think Kyrie going against Boston in the finals would be very entertaining.
That's a great
storyline. Western
storyline.
Conference Final Game 7 would be amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, boys, last episode we did stadium tier rankings of the National League stadiums. So this week we got to do American League stadiums. So we have the tier pulled up on the screen. You can check that out on YouTube. You've probably seen this all over the internet. Superior at the top, A, B, C, D, E, F. Pretty stereotypical grading scale here. Let's start in the East. We're just going to go down the standings as they sit right now. Yankee Stadium. We'll go Zach, Matt, me.
I mean, it had to be like an A because it's historic. But it doesn't look like it's
But
that.
it's not. It's only 15 years old.
I guess that's true, but it's built around a historic monuments, right?
No, it's across the street from where the old one was.
I know, but did they? Oh, so they just brought the stuff over.
Yeah.
I get A or B.
All right, Maddie.
I'm going C.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been there. It's fine. I hate the city of New York, so I'm trying to not let that bias me too much. But I'll go C as well. It's pretty stereotypical for a newer stadium. So I also just it's New York, and I hated getting there and getting home. Also, I got stuck in a rainstorm on the way home, and my Uber driver took me about 40 minutes out of the way. I was a little scared there. No big deal. We made it home. Moving down the list, Baltimore Orioles, Camden Yards.
Never been, but I've driven by it. I would have to put that at like an S. That place looks awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
I would I've never been there, but obviously TV makes it look very nice. I'd put it in the A, but I'm not going to argue wherever,
It's been 20 years since I've been there, and I'm obviously biased by my experience there. They have like food vendors, like, okay, so when you're watching the game, and there's like the big screen up behind center field, and then there's like that building that runs along the right field side. Well, as you go out that entrance there, there's like food vendors everywhere, and little butterball 13-year-old me absolutely had a field day there. So the stadium, accompanied with the amazing food, it's an A. It's as close to an S. I just don't know if I'm ready to give it an S. It's definitely up there. It's incredible. If you're ever in the Baltimore area, make sure you go over there. Fenway Park in Boston.
I'd put it in the S. I've only been by it. I've never been.
I should say S for like
S.
the historical aspect of it, but it can't be like that great of a stadium if it's that old.
All right, I've been there. It's been 6 years, and Zach, you're exactly correct. It's historical wise, it is S. It's up there, but from like a game experience, it's a D. Those seats suck. Some of them don't even face the right direction. It's kind of similar to Wrigley in the sense that like if you go to the bathroom, you're gonna miss a full inning, and it's weird and narrow because of where it sits. I'm a history dork, so I love the history side of it. But like if you're just going there for a game, you're not gonna super well enjoy it if you're not a baseball history nerd.
Yeah,
it's probably sacrilegious to say
because of like the movies and stuff like that, but it's also an old stadium.
And it's uncomfortable. Moving down, the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll just start off F. This place stinks.
Yeah, F. Stinks. Looks
concrete monstrosity.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're down in Tampa, it's hard to get to a baseball game, though.
Yeah, but you got, especially in Tampa, you got to be able to enjoy some of what makes Florida, Florida, and you don't know when you're
Tampa,
in there.
Though, you got to go a little smaller, too, on the stadium and just make it look more packed.
Yeah, it's bad. And granted, it's been a long, long time since I've been there, and from what I've seen, that
it hasn't changed.
No, they've at least like lightened some things up, and like they've added a couple and they do. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have the live stingrays in a pool. That was kind of cool.
Did you touch the stingrays?
I don't remember. It was like 2004 that I was there, so a couple things have happened between then. Maddie, what do you got on Tropicana?
I'm gonna go E or F. I've never been there, but it does not look appealing to me in the least. I'll just put it that way.
In the same vein, Rogers Center in Toronto. This is an E to me. This is as close to an F. If it was a full closed dome and it didn't have the hotel in center field, this would be Tropicana. I didn't think there was anything special about it. It was dirty. It's old. I was not crazy about this place. Too big.
Go F just for it looks bad on TV.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the hotel in center field, it would have no redeeming quality.
Yeah. That place is sick, though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go with a B only for sentimental value. I went to Canada when I was in third grade, I think, and then it was like the second year that Sky Dome was open, and that's
No
what it was
kidding.
called then at the time. And so we went then. So it was the first retractable roof stadium at the time. It was a big fucking deal at
Yeah.
that point. And saw the Texas Rangers against the Blue Jays then. Dave Stieb was pitching. I know that. And it was it's a very memorable game. So I'm gonna take a B just for the nostalgia for myself.
Fair enough. Moving to the AL Central, Cleveland Guardians, Progressive, I believe is what it's called now.
I've
Zach,
been
Yes,
there.
it'll be Jacobs Field.
I've
Yep,
been there.
it'll always
I'm
be Jacobs.
going to give it a C.
All right, fair enough.
I think it used to be an A, and now it's probably a B or a C.
Yeah, I'm going to go B here as well. I think this is kind of one of those underrated. Like, there's a couple things missing to make it like an elite stadium, but it's a pretty solid stadium. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Yes, it's pretty nice, and it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's the biggest downfall. Is you got to go to Cleveland
Yeah,
to go
that's
there.
the worst part about it.
Kansas City, Kaufman. I don't know if they still call it Kaufman, but
I'm going to go B. It looks pretty sweet.
I'm gonna
It
go
is-
with an S. The fountains that are just elite. That's a standalone. Plus the big KC logo in center field looks sick too.
I will go kind of right in between. This is an A to me, and I was there before the renovations that they've done in the last 10 years or so. And the renovations just seem to make it cooler with the porch in left field. But the fountains are sweet. The scoreboard that looks like the logo is elite. I enjoyed this one a lot to go watch a really, really bad baseball team. And I caught a T-shirt from the T-shirt cannon there. So gets a couple extra, brownie points to me. Minnesota, me and Zach were there, was it 2019 now?
That place is an A. That place is awesome.
Yeah.
An F to where they used to play. I've been there multiple times.
Yeah,
was
I went to the Metrodome, but I've never been to
That place sucked.
Yes, it did.
I mean, you'd walk
Yeah.
in and you just get hit with this air, and then you go through this other set of doors where the air would stop. And I mean, it was not built for baseball.
Hard to argue. Maddie, you got anything on Target Field?
Nah, I've never been there. It looks awesome though, so I'll give it a B.
Except do not sit in right field when it's like getting a night game, because that like first inning or so when the sun is still out, first by 3 innings, man, you're getting hit with the sun.
Yes, you are. That was brutal. Also, very accessible to downtown. That helps. This is an A to me. It's just very close to an S. It's an awesome stadium. I was a big
Minnesota
fan.
in general, downtown is pretty sweet.
Yeah, downtown Minneapolis, I would go back to in a heartbeat. Rip those bird
Minneapolis,
scooters
I mean,
around town.
Yeah. And we sat one time all the way at the top, and still was a great seat.
Not a bad seat in the house. Moving down, Detroit.
I'm gonna go D. Doesn't really have anything great to it.
I liked it.
Ooh.
I think it has a retro vibe to it. I've been there once. I thought it was a while back, but it was relatively new. But it's I'll put it in the B. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I would go A. I was there the year it opened before they moved the fences in a little bit. And just I enjoyed it. I thought, like Maddie said, a little bit of a retro vibe to it. A lot of cool stuff in the outfield. We sat in left field. I enjoyed this one a lot, but unfortunately the Tigers play there. Finishing up the AL Central, the White Sox guaranteed rate. What do you got?
I go B. Great food.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with.
And you can tailgate.
Maddie?
Yeah, B-ish, C-ish, somewhere in that neck of the name. I'll go B minus. How about that?
Fair enough. I'll go B plus though. It's close to an A just because it is it's kind of like Zach was talking. There's really not a bad seat there. Food's elite. It's fairly easy to get to. My only issue, and I know White Sox fans complain about this all the time, is that if they would just have not put the back wall up, you would have a view of the skyline of the city. And like if you go out to the ramp right behind where like we were sitting last week, you can see it from the ramp, but you can't see it from the stadium. Like there was a couple missed opportunities there. So it's really close to an A for me.
The pinwheels and fireworks for homers is cool too.
That's so cool.
The concourse on the outfield is really good too. It's just, unfortunately, the White Sox play there. Going out west, Seattle, I think it's T-Mobile Park now.
Maybe a C. I mean, it looks cool, I guess, but I'm gonna go C. I'm just going off what I see on TV.
I'm gonna go A. It looks awesome, but I've heard good things.
I'm probably gonna go right in the middle at a B. It's really cool inside. It feels like there's like almost something missing from like I judge a lot of mine from like outfield concourses and like things to do out there. The retractable roof is nice. Unfortunately, the walk to the stadium was brutal. It's kind of like, and it might have changed since I've been there, but like at the time, it wasn't really close to anything. So it was kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. It just the way that it felt when I went there. But it is a good stadium. It's solid, and it's the only stadium, I believe, that sells fried crickets at their stadium. Fun fact.
That's
very.
Texas Rangers. This is the only one that no one on this podcast has been to.
I'd have to give it like an A. It looks sick.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It does look very nice.
I think it's probably because it's only like 2 or 3 years old or whatever it is now. But I agree. It's B+, A- territory from everything I've seen on TV. Can't beat, the new amenities of everything. But it's kind of a TBD for all of us here. The Astros.
I'm going to go S myself.
Yeah, Maddie, you stole my S. I was going to go there
This
too.
is
Yeah,
cool.
this
I
is
mean,
my
it's cool with the train track is just awesome.
The train is sick. Left field being 315 feet is sick.
The only thing that can make it better is
if they had Tal's Hill back, dude, it would be
Yep.
S through the roof.
If they had that little that hill in center field back,
Yeah,
they gave into the
stadium.
They gave
really
into
wanna
people
go
there.
I really want to go there.
This is S to me. And I remember when we were there, this was back when they were in the NL Central. And so, like in the left field porch, like you said, is the short porch. But if you keep going, you can stand on like those terraces that they have, like the open cutouts. And I remember standing there and heckling. I think it was Lance Berkman was playing center field that day. So I remember that as like a 12 or 13-year-old. So, that's an S tier. I love this state. And used to be named Enron, named after one of the biggest Ponzi's.
401k stadium.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can all agree the Oakland Coliseum, F tier.
Yeah, F. The worst.
It's a dump. It's a football stadium.
Your dugouts flood.
With
I don't know.
sewage. All right. Last one, Los Angeles Angels.
Probably a D.
It
boring.
looks
Really?
I think it's an A. That place looks sick.
Oh, I agree, Zach. I'm with you, man. I'm like B+ here.
I think the rocks are cool, but that's about it.
Well, the team sucks.
I guess I never knew this, but like that stadium was originally designed as a football-only stadium. And they cut out the bleachers from like left field to right field, and that's where they put like the rock formation and all that. Back in, I want to say the 70s, the Rams used to play there. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. There's a couple things missing, so that's why it stays a B. Maybe even drops down to a C if the Angels were any better, but the rocks just kind of trick my dumb brain into thinking it's cool.
Because you got rocks for brains.
That is fair criticism, Matt. I can't argue with you there. But let us know what you guys think, where we messed up, where you would put some of these stadiums at. So let's wrap things up, as always, boys. TCF Top 3. Last time we did actors. This time we've got actresses. So does anybody want to go first?
I do.
I'll go last.
What bankable pick are you going to take first, Zach?
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
The GOAT.
Hard to argue. Maddie, you want 2 or do you want me to go?
I'll take 3. You can go.
Are these all just going to be bonk picks or?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough here. That maybe not necessarily. Anne Hathaway. Haven't really found a movie of her that was like ungodly bad.
Yeah.
I like Anne Hathaway. Good looking lady too.
I'm gonna go Emma Stone.
Good one.
Oh, that's a great pick.
She's S tier for me myself. A fine actress, just a talented
I have
woman.
seen the movie Easy A no less than 25 times.
Yeah, that's a good one, but obviously her she's been in tons of stuff. Great actress and obviously easy on the eyes too. I'm gonna go specifically to a movie for this next one. Wedding Crashers, Rachel McAdams was like next world. Like,
yeah.
That's so I want that picture of her on the graphic. That way.
Fair enough. That's a good pick. I will go more of a comedy guy myself. Oh my God. How am I drawing a blank here? Who's the lady from Joliet? Melissa McCarthy. She's hilarious.
It's a good pick.
She is. She's funny.
Yeah,
I like it.
Big fan.
I'm gonna go Reese Witherspoon.
Not bad. Hard to argue that one.
Yep. Great resume.
And I'm going Julia Roberts.
Yeah. That's hard to argue with too.
Great actresses.
Do we count actresses if they've really only been in TV shows?
That's fine.
Yeah, definitely. Actresses are
All right.
actresses.
I'll go with the one I've had a crush on since like junior high. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but Kaylee Cuoco, Suko, whatever you call it, from Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah.
That's a no-brainer. I think it was 8 Simple Rules to Dating My Teenage Daughter with John Ritter.
Yeah.
Came out when I was like
that.
12. Yeah. Great show. Love her.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. Oh God, there's so many to pick from, man. I'm frozen, dude. I don't know what to do.
I know. I'm looking at a list here. There's so many good actresses that are
there
not
really
gonna get
is. I'm gonna go legend status. I'm gonna go Sandra Bullock.
Oh, it's a good one.
That's a steal.
Back to Speed. She was good there.
It's a steal.
Then on the Blind Side,
at the last pick of the draft.
Dude. Yeah, Sandra Bullock is a lead, dude. I'm gonna go.
Sandra Bullock at 9.
I'm happy with my board, dude. Like Sandra Bullock, Rachel McAdams, Emma Stone. Like bang bang. Like what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
3 elite actresses right there.
We've all got lead actresses. Let's not just say
let's.
I keep stealing these drafts, dude. This is getting out of hand.
Balls.
Dude, she wasn't even that good in The Blind Side at all.
Oh, come on.
Leanne Tui. Here's some big names we missed. Meryl Streep, probably the most recognizable name. Scarlett Johansson. Ever heard of her?
ScarJo was also on my the radar there.
Natalie Portman, Halle Berry, Angelina Jolie,
Margot Robbie,
Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron's a big miss there. Jennifer Lawrence.
And you only get 3. There's only 3.
Here's one that like I have because you guys we talk about all the time. Like I love scary movies, and the one that like is my all-time favorite, Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis. What a career!
Yeah, you know who I like? The chick that played was Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah. What was her name?
Or Captain Marvel. Sorry, it was Captain Marvel.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Brie Larson. Was it Brie Larson? Yeah.
And we could go on forever here, boys. Any other ones?
I don't think so.
Cameron Diaz was
Oh yeah. Pamela Anderson.
Fair enough.
especially the one with Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Honking the horn on the boat.
Well, that's going to be the end of episode 227. We can't thank you guys enough for joining us. Jesus, Maddie, I knew I was going there.
Hey, you had to say there's some great acting in that.
Yeah.
Paris Hilton.
Oh, Jesus. All right, that's really the end of this show. Make sure you find us on X at @typical_Chicago. Facebook and Instagram, give those pages a like. Subscribe on YouTube for all of our content in video form. 5-star reviews wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, rate, review, whatever you can, wherever you can. Tell a friend, tell a couple more friends, tell their friends. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, and of course Zach at ZLilia_TCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Make sure you check out our friends at Connect Roasters on X at Connect Roasters, or at their website, connectroasters.com. We appreciate you guys for joining us. That was episode 227 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.